Hi everyone, this is Audapostrophe. Let's check out the Lovekami Divinity stage on Nintendo Switch. Wow, listen to how happy that music is. It's the opposite of my soul. That seems okay. Let's make the message speed instant. I think that's fine. Alright, let's check it out. Excuse me.
人が夢を忘れ、信じる心を失いかけた、そんな時代。目に映るものしか信じられなくなった人々の前に、その姿を表すようになりました。世に言う神様降臨です。無数の神様が降り立ち、各地で混乱を巻き起こしました。それに伴い国家レベルでの対応を図ることになります。混乱の最中、特別法案、通称八百万阻止法が成立し、事態は収拾の一途をたどるかに思われました。がしかし、全てをひっくり返すように、後からやってきたアマテラス大神が皆に告げました。人の世を知らない我々は幼子も同じだと。アマテラス様は教育の必要性を訴え、その場を用意するよう命じます。これにより神様教育法が制定される運びとなり、各地に神様教育特区が作られました。神様たちは人と共に学び、親しみ、心を通わせて、そんな神様降臨から1年ちょっと、人と神様の文化交流はさらなる発展を遂げていこうとしています。
Well, hello, you two.
皆さん、こんにちは。L7 です。
The gods are nourished by Sakamatama, which brings forth their Jinnuki. Sakamatama means the good hearts and goodwill of humanity. Faithful minds create better Sakamatama, which become a source of strength for the gods. And the path chosen by many goddesses to gather Sakamatama in today's society was, oddly enough, the entertainment industry.
今日は私たちのライブを見に来てくれてありがとう。一緒に目いっぱい盛り上がろうね。
This was the divine idol group L7. They were the most popular idol group of all. Playing on the big screen in front of Akihabara station was L7's concert footage. Seeing as how they were all goddesses, of course they were beautiful, and they were great singers and dancers. No wonder they could get so popular. But whenever she comes by the house, she's such a normal, down-to-earth girl. Sarah Benzeiten, the center girl in L7, was someone I knew personally. But the girl who glittered up there on stage like... What the hell? But the girl who glittered up there on stage was like a completely different person. I was proud of all her hard work, but at the same time, there was a distance between us. It was a complicated feeling. But anyway, there are lots of goddesses around Akiba these days. Driven by L7's popularity, divine idols were increasing day by day. Countless goddesses gathered here in Akihabara, the holy land of pop idols. They put on gaudy costumes, passed out flyers, and of course performed. A year ago, this place was packed with mere humans. Now it was full of goddesses with aspirations of idolhood. But no one really bats an eyelash at all at goddesses now. A year after the descent, they're already a normal part of life. Or at least that's what I thought. The intro flowing out of the speakers was solemn, like old imperial court music. But just when I thought it was another old divine idol, it flipped into a catchy pop melody. I'm assuming there's supposed to be some sound out of that. Powerful vocals exploded out of the speakers. All the passers-by stopped what they were doing in response to the singing. But that was over in an instant. Most people quickly returned to their daily lives, walking off somewhere. Those who stayed, however, were enthralled by her song. I was one of those. This really is something. This little corner was overrun with a kind of heat that cut through a person's soul. She wasn't dressed like an idol. She was wearing the uniform of a nearby school, and her equipment was cheap and busker level stuff. Oh, really? That's a school uniform? Huh? Was that porno school? Even then, when she sang, for an instant she sparkled too. Her passionate performance touched something in me, and soon I was moving my body without even realizing it. Yeah, well, the one particular part of the body, yeah. At her call, some unseen force began to respond. Around her uniformed figure, countless balls of light appeared. They spun along with her dance moves, glittering and turned the performance into a gorgeous show. No human could have done it. It was divine work. She turned up the voltage and the street corner went wild. Her voice grew more fiery and her dance more fervent. The crowd cheered as one, their fists raised in the air. It was like something out of a movie, and to think I hadn't felt it anything special before. So this is what a divine idol is really like. I'd been completely enthralled by the power of the live divine idol show. Now I understood. I knew why everyone was so crazy about L7. The whirring lights started to close in, and the song sounded like it was coming to a close. But the dancing lights didn't hold my eyes. They were fixated on her, still singing so happily. You and her true cousins. I ended up staying to the very end. Oh yeah, I was exhausted after 2 minutes. I was warmed through and through, and the performance still resonated through me, undying. I think she said her name was Shuri Kishotan? Kishotan? Apparently, she was striving to become a divine idol too. She was still an amateur compared to L7, but I couldn't deny I had been moved by her performance. There was something special about her voice, something that reached into people's hearts and pants. Was it something every divine idol had, or something particular to her? As it was, I really didn't know, but I wanted to find out more. This place, Akihabara, had long been a holy land for pop idols. Girls with dreams of idolhood had come and then gone. There were those whose dreams came true and they mounted the big stage, and those whose dreams had died here. Akihabara was a place with milestones for either a path, a place of varicolored memories. That will surely never change, not for people and not for goddesses. Divine idols are hatched here, and someday they may spread their wings and fly away. Fly away to that big sparkling stage. Let's spread their wings and fly away. Lovekami, Divinity stage. I think there are 3 games in this series now. But I believe this is actually the first game. I think. That passion I'd felt during the street performance hadn't faded. Shiri Kishoten, her performance might have been special, it might not. I did not know enough about divine idols to make that judgment. Luckily, Akiba is the perfect place to learn. Going one street in from Akihabara's main thoroughfare, the way grew crowded with lots of different shops. The area had been famous for maid cafes, and now goddess cafes were spreading. Goddess Cafe Amano Kageyama, the sign out front says live shows. The shopkeeper led me to a seat. It's actually pretty catchy. But I was thrown off by that crazy outfit in front of me. I knew that divine idols tended to show a lot of skin, but even so, this was something else. I wasn't doubting you. But it was a little suspicious. She was so bothered, she leaned in closer to talk. And because of that, I got a bit more of a look than I'd expected and grew even more embarrassed and hardly embarrassed. We call it the descent, but it's not like the gods and goddesses just appeared in human form. They divided their spirits into Wakimitama, and while each one is influenced by the original god, they aren't exact copies. Each Wakimitama is different with their own looks and character. She is one of Ame no Uzume Wakimitama, but she is a person of her own who is apparently called Kagura Amazu. Amazu? I know who Ame no Kuzume is. Isn't she the goddess of entertainment? Ame no Uzume is not only the goddess of entertainment, but was also known for being fortunate. But apparently not many people know that these days. Goddesses whose popularity is in decline and lose Sakimitama often recover it by making their idol debuts. The goddess cafes of Akihabara are where these hatchling divine idols can start to strut their stuff. I took a look at the menu she handed me. It all looked fairly ordinary, pretty much the same as all the old maid cafes that filled Akiba. Let's see. Iced coffee, I guess. She was clearly disappointed. Oh, is that no good? Is that not a good idea? Why, did you see my Tinder profile? That's the only place I'm used to seeing disappointment. So, how's it different from a regular rice omelet? Is that all? Okay then, I'll have the goddess rice omelet. The entire staff repeated the order. You might have thought that would attract attention, but it didn't. It was the most popular dish, after all, so it wasn't exactly rare.
お待たせしました。アイスコーヒーと神様オムライスです。
She brought me my order and started shaking up a ketchup bottle.
さあ、どんな文字を書きますか？何でも OK ですよ。すぐに思いつかないようなら神様にお任せしちゃうのもありですけど。
Well, I guess I'll leave it to you then.
わかりました。ではでは、アマウズ神楽、いざ参ります。
Shaking the ketchup, her face went deadly serious. It was a tranquil moment, like the moment before a calligrapher lowers her brush to the paper.
もえもえキュンキュン、おいしくなーれ、おいしくなーれ。
Oh, wait, what is... Well, that's it?
まあまあ、ここからが本番だから、よーく見ててね。
The stale atmosphere suddenly changed, and a frigid wind arose. The ketchup bottle waved above the omelet like a scepter of a Shinto priest. I was so swept up in the sight that I almost missed the faint light that started dancing above the rice omelet. So, this is a goddess rice omelet. In her presence, I reflexively sat up straighter. Although she seemed like a bit of a ditz, this girl was, after all, a goddess.
はい、完了。神様オムライス出来上がりです。文字はお任せだったから、私のサインにしてみました。よかったらファンになってくれると嬉しいな。
I can't read it.
ケチャップだと潰れて読めないね。じゃあハートマークのおまけしちゃおう。
She added a few hearts. It was an even bigger mess, to be honest. I didn't mind.
それじゃあゆっくり楽しんでいってね。
She left me with my god-assigned rice omelet. It certainly looked blessed, but I wonder about the taste. Meh. It tasted like a perfectly ordinary rice omelet with a lot of ketchup. While I enjoyed my after-meal iced coffee, I looked around the goddess cafe. All the cute, idle, dreaming goddesses seemed to have fun while they worked. Apart from their magic, they didn't really seem any different from human girls.
皆様お待たせしました。ただいまより当店のキャストによるステージタイプとなります。
The lights went down and a spotlight hit the tiny stage. Then loud music started playing. It was the intro to an L7 song.
皆さん、こんにちは。
こんにちは。
みんなの神様、アマウズ神楽です。イエーイ。
A few divine idols appeared, centered around Kagura.
初めてのみんなも常連のみんなも来てくれてありがとう。今日は私たちと一緒に盛り上がっちゃおう。
Suddenly, all the customers, who had been sitting quietly so far, rushed up in front of the stage. They all gripped multicolored glow sticks and were cheering for their favorite goddesses.
はーい、いつも応援ありがとね。ヘルハウンド氏もおにぎり入道さんもどうもどうも。
The goddess waved at the fans they recognized from the stage. I'm sure the fans were overjoyed at this close-up interaction. But even then, what's up with that? There was something going on with the goddess around Kagura. Maybe it was because Kagura's outfit was so skimpy, but whenever she made any big movements, they covered her. I'm sure she was wearing something under there, but our eyes kept glancing around, trying to catch a glimpse.
かぐらちゃん、今日も可愛いよ。もっとサービスして。
ありがとう。でもこれ以上は見せないもんね。
The goddess guarding Kagura all nodded in agreement. It appeared all of this was normal here.
それじゃいくよ。
With the warm-up talk finished, it was finally time for the song to start. The crowd's eyes were fixated on Kagura, singing and dancing with all her heart.
はいはいはい。
よーし、盛り上がってきたぞ。
かぐらちゃん。
みんなどんどんいくよ。
I felt a sense of unity with this show far beyond what I'd had watched. Wait, I felt a sense of unity with this show far beyond what I'd had watching Shirley's street performance earlier. Oh, okay. Oh man, this is gonna give me a hard time with the sentences not being perfect. Kagura was the center of the action, but the others sang and danced right with her. It overflowed with the power of a group performance, something far different from a solo artist. Everyone gave their whole attention to the performance, and the girls all watched the audience as well. The whole shop became one stage, and everyone was united in the show. Just like the others, I was on my feet, fists in the air. During breaks in the singing, Kagura kept calling out to the audience. The dancing kept getting more furious, and we in the audience grew more deeply enthralled. Gradually, they blocked less and less of Kagura's skin, and the more we saw, the more thrilled we got. Oh yeah, of course. The glances of her bare skin were captivating, but strangely, it was less erotic than it had been before the show started. You can only stay hard for so long. After 4 hours, go see a doctor. The singing and dancing and this outfit, the three became one, all part of the show. And then, as the energy uniting the stage and the audience reached its maximum, Kagura exploded into emotion. Oh, Red exploded and got excited. As her hands touched her costume, it began to unfold like great wings. Eh? Wait! Her costume, already skimpy, became even more revealing. She rushed to cover the vital bits, but barely made it. The crowd went wild, and what's more, it was like her stripping was almost to be expected. No one tried to rush the stage, but everyone was focused solely on her. She and the crowd grew more fervent as one. Again, her hands went over her costume. She was seriously going to take off more. If she did, there'd be no way to cover what needed covering. And she flung her arms open. The other goddesses rushed to cover her, but there was no way they'd make it. Stop! I jumped on the stage by reflex. I stood in front of Kagura to hide her from the audience. What are you doing, taking your clothes off in front of everyone? Girls shouldn't do that. Yeah, only big, burly, oily men should do that. Wait a minute. Kagura thanked me with a puzzled look on her face. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah, what are you doing? Ruining everybody's fun, you jerk face. I was supposed to be here watching Divine Idols putting on a show, but there I was, rushing the stage and completely destroying the mood. I got a thorough talking to in the back room, and then finally they let me go. I'm just glad I didn't get banned. Oh, for sure. Give me 4 minutes. Miss Amaterasu? Kagura appeared before me, dressed in her uniform. Yamato Tatsume. I'm really sorry about what happened just now. I apologized again for ruining her performance. Apparently, her show gets stopped quite often because of her stripping. If I hadn't got on stage and stopped her, it would have probably ended the same way anyway. Oh, whoops. Wrong button.
今の時代そういうのはダメだって分かってるんだけど、ステージが乗ってくると忘れちゃうんだよね。
They say that when Amaterasu got angry and hid in the Amano Iwato cave, Amane no Uzume had danced and taken off her clothes to make her come out. Since Kagura is a wakimitama, for a goddess like that, it's only natural she'd be influenced by that part of the goddess's nature. That's dangerous. Are you sure it'll be okay?
全然大丈夫じゃないんだって。同僚の神様たちに迷惑かけちゃってるし、店長には毎回怒られてるし。でも今日はヤマトがステージに乱入してくれたから、店長の怒りの矛先がそっちに向いたので、私はセーフでした。てへ。
What do you mean? She's glad I got in trouble instead of her. No, well, I guess I was able to protect her and her pay. There's some relief there.
ごめんね。
Please don't pay it any mind. At least it did some good.
もう。
Kagura stared at me with a troubled look, like something was bothering her. What is it?
お店の外なんだから、そういうのをやめてほしいな。
What exactly do you mean by that?
だからその丁寧口調、友達と話すみたいに普通にしてよ。
Oh, if that's what you want. Kagura, gotcha.
よろしい。
When I lightened my tone, Kagura seemed pleased. She had seemed cheerful working at the Goddess Cafe, but now she actually seemed more relaxed and happier. Meaning this must be the real Kagura Amazu.
覚えてよ、ヤマトのこと。次はちゃんと最後まで私のステージ見てね。
And with those words, Kagura disappeared into the Akihabara streets. Tadaima! Pulling aside the door curtain, I arrived back at our kimono shop, Tatsumi's. Being one of the Tatsumi's on the sign, I live here, in a living space at the back of the shop. There's no one manning the shop again. They're asking for trouble. Mother and father weren't that old, but maybe inheriting this ancient kimono shop gave them old-fashioned ideas. Despite all the valuable kimonos stored here, they often left without locking the door. Luckily, here in Kanda, there were a lot of old wholesalers and small shops, and everyone looks out for each other, so we've not had any trouble so far. Someone's here? Someone was in the back of the shop. My mother? Or perhaps... I beheld a heavenly being. She was probably trying things on, as she was wrapped up in a light underrobe. It was Sarah. That was no heavenly being. That was my friend, the goddess. Sarah Benzaiten was the center for L7, making her one of the most popular divine idols there were. And right now, she was changing clothes in front of me. I knew I shouldn't be looking, but I couldn't seem to avert my eyes like a creepy pervert. She was humming happily. Even without using any Divinity, that voice could enthrall people, and the clear tone of it was full of healing power. I had been moved by Shuri's passionate singing, but Sada's healing voice held another kind of enchantment. Under other circumstances, I'd probably have been thinking about their differences, but right now the sight before my eyes blew all such thoughts out of my mind. I held my breath, watching Sarah. The sun shone through her dress, making it transparent and showing the outline of her body. Her womanly curves gave rise to all kinds of ideas and body parts. It grew hard to breathe and hard to hard, and my heart pounded like loud in my ears. Really? Does that happen? I couldn't leave, nor could I move closer. I was frozen in place. Sarah's humming stopped. The breeze from the window gently fluttered her light robe. I couldn't see her skin, but then Sarah's attention fell from her song. In that instant, the spell fell for me as well.
Yamato-kun?
Her gaze turned towards the shop entrance, towards me. Sarah! Saying nothing of my peeping, she just welcomed me with a soft smile. I'm very sorry. I was bowing to the ground in front of Sarah, apologizing for watching her get changed. I was doing a really good job, if I do say so myself.
もういいからそんなに謝らなくても私は別に気にしてないしそれとも何かなヤマトくんは私の大事なとこ見ちゃったりしたのかな
No, I didn't. I mean, I saw the silhouette of something.
そっかそっかならギリギリセーフだね
Even without seeing the important bits, Sarah's silhouette in that dress had been more exciting than mere nudity could ever be. Oh, really? I didn't know that was a thing. I personally prefer the nudity. I didn't want her to see me like this, so I kept my face covered and held my crotch shut.
あらもしかして照れてるの
Well, it is embarrassing. After all, I did get caught watching the famous divine idol getting changed. And if Sarah's fans found out, it could cause all kinds of trouble. At the same time, seeing her like that had been extremely stimulating.
ヤマトくんもそういうの気にしちゃう年頃なんだね
After teasing me a little suddenly, she seemed to soften. She wrapped her arms around me and rested her weight on my body, like always. Wait, Sarah, what are you doing?
かわいいなヤマトくんは抱きつかれたくらいでわたわたしちゃって
Of course. I mean, anyone would get like this being hugged by a beautiful woman like you.
そっかそっかなんだか嬉しいなお姉さんギューってしたくなっちゃうギュー
She must have thought my resistance was funny, but she pressed her whole body against me and squeezed. It was so soft and warm and smelled so good. I forgot for a moment that she was a goddess and an idol.
ごめんください
The customer showed up at the worst possible moment.
あらお客様よいらっしゃい
Sarah greeted the customer pleasantly, still pressed up against me. Hey, let go of me. You're scaring the customer. Peeling Sarah off me, I forced a smile on my face. Oh, there wasn't a smile on there already. What the heck? Welcome. Thank you for coming. So, and I finally noticed it was the girl from the street performance earlier.
ごめんなさいやっぱりいいわ別の店に行くから
No, wait. Aren't you Shuri Kishoten?
私のこと知ってるの
She stopped at my words, just as she had been walking out the door. Oh, I just found out. You performed in front of the Akihabara station today, didn't you?
私のライブ見てくれたんだ
Her worried look didn't change, but somehow she seemed happier.
つまり私のファンってことよねライブ見てくれてありがとう
She might have been embarrassed thanking me directly because she turned bright red and stuck her hand out.
だからもうファンなら握手してあげるってこと気象点処理よよろしく
Nice to meet you. I was half forced into shaking her hand. But it was true that her street performance had moved me. She kind of just decided I was a fan, but I didn't mind actually.
あなたがシュリちゃんなのねはじめましてお姉さんにはいつもお世話になっていますなんでここに弁財天皿がいるのだってここ彼氏の家だもん
Joking around, she embraced me again. I really wish she would get her pranks under control.
彼氏もしかしてスキャンダル私目撃しちゃったの
Shuri was almost ready to explode. Her statements were becoming almost incomprehensible. Sarah was an old hand at pranks, and since Shuri's composure was wearing thin, this prank just added fuel to the fire.
そうよここにいるのはそっくりさん弁財天皿にのがっかり系美人に違いないわはあそういうこと言うんだならお姉さん本気出しちゃおうかな
Singing. Sarah let out a cute little sound, and her whole body started to shine with a faint light.
どう？これで私が弁財天サラダって証明できたかしら？
Far beyond a mere costume change, in an instant her whole body morphed. Now dressed in her full L7 outfit, Sarah exuded an aura that no mere idol could match.
すごい。ライブの衣装と同じだ。信じてもらえた？はい。でも、この人間のオスとはどのようなご関係で？
She turned her suspicious gaze on me as if I were some kind of villain, which I am. I guess that being overfamiliar with Sarah, who was apparently worthy only of worship, seemed to make me look like a dangerous stalker, which I am.
だから、私の彼氏なの？
Sarah, still not taking the hint, embraced me yet again. Stop screwing around. She's going to believe you.
ってことは、ごめんね。ちょっとからかってみただけなの。ヤマト君はこの店の息子さんで知り合いなのよ。本当ですか？ほら、私のキラキラな瞳を見て。これでも嘘をついてると思う？まつげ長い。さすがトップアイドル。信じてもらえたかしら？そうですね。冷静に考えてみれば、あの弁財天さらに彼氏なんているはずないですし。
At any rate, it looks like we cleared up that misunderstanding.
ところでシュリちゃんは辰巳屋に用事があってきたのよね。
Yes, welcome. Can I help you find anything? I switched into customer service mode.
そうね。もしかしてアイドル衣装？はい。このことはうちのお姉ちゃんには絶対秘密にしてほしいんですけど。
As Sarah explained, Shuri's big sister was Bishamote. Bishamote? She was a member of L7 and was apparently quite close to Sarah.
秘密にするのはいいけど、お姉さんに内緒でアイドル活動してるの？私が神様アイドルになるって言ったら、きっとお姉ちゃん心配すると思うから。心配してあれこれさを焼いて。確かにあの子ならそうなっても不思議はないわね。
Sarah clearly thought Bishomoten was a bit of a worrywart when it came to her little sister.
お姉ちゃんの足を引っ張りたくないんです。だから実力を認められるまで内緒ってことで。今度のオーディションで合格したらきっと私のこと認めてくれると思うんです。お姉ちゃんの隣に立っても恥ずかしくない。そんな神様アイドルになりたいから。
If she went public as a raw amateur, she'd just hold her sister back. So she wanted to reach her full potential before taking the stage by her sister. Even I could understand the sense in that. But one thing did bother me. May I ask one question? What exactly do you mean by this audition? The room froze at my question.
なんとなくそうかなとは思ってたけど、やっぱりヤマト君は知らなかったか。嘘。オーディションのこと本当に知らないの？普通にニュース番組でも取り扱われてるし、告知ポスターだってそこら中で見かけるでしょ？
No, I'm sorry, but I honestly don't know what you're talking about. The two both had a look on their faces like, what's wrong with this poor idiot? And then someone else showed up to rub my face in it.
こんにちは。あれ、どうして弁財天サラがここに？
It was yet another goddess I just met earlier.
この子、私と全く同じリアクションしてるわ。 ならもう一度ギュッてしなきゃね。
A grinning Sarah wrapped her arm around me again. Yeah, please stop that.
彼氏じゃないなら抱きつかないでください。人前でそんなことするなんてはしたないですよ。
Since I was frozen in place, Shirley peeled Sarah off from me.
おお、天才天サラの恋人発覚。っていうかさ、そこにいるのはヤマトだよね。
Oh, hi, Kakara. It's you again.
さっきぶりだね、ヤマト。あれあれ、もしかしてお知り合い？私も聞かせてほしいわね。どうやら同じ学園のお仲間のようだし。
Indeed, Shuri and Kagura were wearing the same uniform. The design was slightly different, but Sarah's was the same too. Wait, that's the same, is it? Oh, I guess it is. Now that Shuri had pointed it out, these three goddesses clearly all went to the same school. She's coming on, sorry. It was the second year since the establishment of the Divine Education Act. In places all over the country, these educational zones were expanding. The area spreading from Ueno Okachimachi to Akihabara had been designated as one of these zones. Being in Kanda, I didn't have a lot of direct contact, but I knew that there was a designated school over by Yushima. So, looks like you're all students at the same school, but you've never met, so maybe you should introduce yourselves. I guess I should start, since it's my idea. I'm the only son of the owner of Tatsumi's, Yamato Tatsumi.
吉祥天首里よ。一応神様アイドル志望ってことでよろしく。連載天サラ、神様アイドルやってます。あとヤマトくんの恋人も兼任してます。はいはい、そのギャグはもうお腹いっぱいですから。
Shuri had enough experience now to know to stop Sarah when she tried to grab me.
それであなたは見たところ神様なのはわかるけど。アマーズカグラです。神様アイドル志望。一応雨のうつめやってます。ああ、おたふくの。はじめまして。どうぞよろしく。
Sarah shook her hand with a gentle smile. Getting her hand shook by the famous center for L7, Kagura went stiff with nervousness.
神様アイドル志望ってことは、あなたも今度のオーディションに？うん、もちろんエントリーしてるよ。順位は全然下の方だけどね。そっか、お互い苦戦してるみたいね。
It looked like Shuri was in the same boat as Kagura. So I hate to throw a damper on things, but could someone please go ahead and explain this audition to me?
仕方ないわね。それじゃあざっくり説明してあげる。
Shuri put on a helpful face and made herself the official audition explainer. The popular divine idol group L7. They are apparently having an audition for a new member. Many wondered if it was okay to increase the membership of a group called L7, but apparently it's not a problem. L7 started when the 7 goddesses of good luck combined to make an idol group. And so you would think the number 7 would be important, but apparently even the 7 goddesses of good luck were originally 8. So based on that idea, this upcoming audition was the first step in renaming the group L8. The 8th goddess of luck was apparently Kishotun. Since Shuri is one of the goddesses Wakamatama, she's not unrelated to the story. It's gonna take me a while to figure out these names.
ネット投票で行われる予選とステージでパフォーマンスをする本戦に分かれているの。 予選が行われてる最中なんだよ。
All right. Why don't we stop it there for now? This is audapostrophe. And you've been... How do I get down there? What the heck? Oh boy. Oh, it's gonna take a while to figure out how to do all this. And you've been watching Lovekami Divine Stage on Nintendo Switch. Well, so far it's a very cute visual novel. Nice kind of slice of life comedy, I suppose. You know, I really like these sort of lighthearted visual novels. You know, I know I've been doing, you know, some very, very deep and serious ones recently, especially with Iwahime. So it's kind of nice to have a break and to just have something that's sort of just fun-loving and you know, fluffy, and it's just popcorn, really. So I think this is probably something that we're going to read all the way through. I'll have to figure out a schedule for it because, you know, I've got like a bunch of visual novels that are releasing towards the end of the year, and so I don't want this whole channel to just become visual novels only, although some of you would like that, but I do like to play other games too, although I do love my visual novels. So if you guys want to check out this this game, it's available on PC along with the 2 additional sequels. Right now this game is the only one available on Switch. I believe it's also available on PlayStation. Like I said, I'm not covering any PlayStation games until I get a PlayStation 5, so probably like in February with the way things are going. Yeah, check it out for yourself. You know, the music's really good, the art's really good, the voice acting's, you know, real professional, except for my voice acting. And I think this is something that could be a lot of fun if you want to read it for yourself. So I highly recommend it. Check it out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.